It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Carbonite, where you can get a 15-day free trial by going over to geekazine.com/carbon-free. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and I welcome you to the Day in Tech History at dayintechhistory.com. It's part of the Tech Podcast Network. You can subscribe via iTunes, Zune, or Stitcher Internet Radio. Our Twitter is Day in Tech Hist, and all show notes are on the wiki page if you want to follow along. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. August 6, 1990, FidoNet news editor Vince Perillo announced the Fido News that the IFNA, the International FidoNet Association, had been officially dissolved. 1991, Tim Berners-Lee posts a brief summary of his idea for the World Wide Web project, specifically the line mode browser, to the alt.hypertext Usenet news group. Later in the month, the posting conversation would spread to comp.sys.next and a couple other news groups. 1995, Father Leonard Boyle was reported to be working on a project that would put the Vatican's library on the web. This was a project that was funded by IBM. 1996, AOL acquired Imagination Network, one of the first online multiplayer gaming systems. Tim Stryker, a computer programmer and founder of Galactic.com and developer of the major BBS and World Group BBS software projects, commits suicide at the age of 41. 1997, after 18 months and losses, Apple Computer is rescued from its financial troubles when Microsoft invests in the company, buying 100,000 non-voting shares worth $150 million in an effort to deflect criticism of its own antitrust trial. Also in 1997, at the Macworld Expo in Boston, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates announced that 5-year alliance between Apple and Microsoft. Terms included two companies would cross-license their existing patents along with any new patents over the next 5 years. Microsoft will release a version of Office for Macintosh over the next 5 years. Apple will make Internet Explorer the default browser on all Macintosh systems. Apple and Microsoft will collaborate with Java compatibility. Microsoft would pay an undisclosed sum of money to Apple, and Microsoft will invest $150 million in stock and hold it for at least 3 years. Steve Jobs would join the Apple board of directors as the de facto head of the company, along with Larry Ellison of Oracle, and A.C. Markula will step down. 1998, Bill Gates, and co-founder of Microsoft, files plans with the Securities Exchange Commission to sell off 1.5 million shares of Microsoft stock. Estimated value was over $165 million. Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, submits plans to sell 1 million shares with an approximate market value of $108 million. And in 1999, eBay experiences a system failure at approximately 6:30 a.m. caused by network anomalies. And SNK officially releases the Neo Geo Pocket Color handheld video game system in the United States for $69.95. And now this word from our friends over at Carbonite. Back up now, back up often, and back up off-site. I back up on-site in my house in many ways. But if fire, flood, theft, or other natural disasters happen, tornado season is coming up. My Carbonite backup will save me from losing it all. Photos, documents, my life. Best part is I can access my backup files from another computer when I log into the Carbonite service. Even those vacation photos right to my phone using the Carbonite mobile app. Save yourself from total loss. Get a 15-day free trial over at geekazine.com/carbon-free. That's geekazine.com/carbon-free. Or if you are a small business, save your business data for under $300 a year by going to geekazine.com/carbonite. That's geekazine.com/carbonite. Back up now before it's too late. Now let's get back into your day in tech history. 2001, a couple are convicted of having been operating the largest known commercial child pornography enterprise that were ever sentenced. Thomas and Janice Reedy were sentenced to a life in prison and 14 years, respectively. They collected upward to $1.5 million monthly while operating the Landslide Productions in Fort Worth, Texas. Russian hacker Dmitry Skylarov was released on jail on a $50,000 bail and warned not to leave Northern California after being arrested by the FBI at the Alexis Park Hotel on July 16th as he prepared to check out of the hotel and return to Moscow. 2002, version 7.0 of the Delphi programming language was released. 2003, European antitrust regulators announced a preliminary decision that would require Microsoft to provide greater technical information to its server competitors and reduce ties between Windows and the Windows Media Player. 2004, Microsoft released Windows XP Service Pack 2. 2006, the BookMooch website was publicly launched by John Buckman. It went into beta testing on July 23rd. BookMooch was a community where users could swap used books. 2008, Time Warner CEO Jeff Books confirmed that the rumor that had been around for a few months, Time Warner and AOL would split starting the next year. Also in 2008, Microsoft released SQL Server 2008. Vice President Ted Kumert adhered to a pledge that he would dye his hair orange if the engineering team got the program out by the company's deadline. Also in 2008, Carl Icahn officially got his seat on the board of directors for Yahoo. Dig launched the live toolbar for Firefox. BitTorrent laid off 22% of their staff, and Google sells its Performix search marketing group, which they acquired during the DoubleClick purchase, to the Publicis Group for an undisclosed amount. 2009, Rupert Murdoch states that all of his web properties would eventually be walled gardens with pay-to-play access. Twitter was brought down by a DOS attack. The attack also hit Facebook, but not as hard. It was found that a Gregorian blogger was targeted in the DOS outage. Also in 2009, Microsoft purchased Office.com for undisclosed sum. And Judge Kevin Gross denies the SCO Group ability to sell off assets so it can continue with the IBM Linux lawsuit. And in 2012, Apple announced that they had removed YouTube from the native iOS. Google begins work on their own standalone app. And presidential candidate Mitt Romney's Twitter account raised $116,000, which that's the followers, 15% of them being fake and paid accounts. And that's your Day in Tech History. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2014 JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.